What is up, folks? Good morning. You are watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are standing at the Polderbaan. Same shit, different day. Another day of arrivals. Polderbaan, the only runway being used for arrivals. We have hardly any wind. Wind that is blowing from the south, but it is more or less wind still right now. And the first airplane of the day, Finnair A350 flight 1301, arriving from Helsinki. 1 hour and 59 minutes underway. The OHLWI, 7 years old, had its first flight in May 2017. Good morning, one and all who has joined already. Was a race against the clock. I saw it was a little bit late. I wanted to be in time for the Finnair to be the first airplane of the day. In the nick of time we made it. Delta Airlines A330 in the background behind it, and we have a Turkish A330 that is flying base. That is going to be number 3 behind it. Big picture overview. Mostly sunny. Look to the east. Now, there's a truck over here. They're doing some tests, I think. You have these protrusions here and there, and they are doing some testing like you have over there. I think quite an interesting van. It's like a mobile laboratory. Could look into it as I was walking up here. Not sure what they're testing, but it is like a mobile laboratory that you hear in the background. The engine is still running. So if you're wondering what is it that I'm hearing, that is it. Good morning, Ronald, Dave, Wolfgang. Nice weather indeed. In fact, it's been a while since I've been in just a t-shirt and shorts. No gloves. I have put on sunscreen. Did bring a vest along with me, but it was too warm. As I was walking up here already, I could feel this is going to be a warm day. More often than not, it's colder here than you think it is, but today it might become one of those days where it's actually warmer than the air temperature indicates, because there's hardly any wind. Next up, Delta Airlines, flight 48, arriving from New York JFK, A330-300, another one in the background from Turkish. 6 hours and 35 minutes on the way, 20 years old, first flight September 2003. Now yesterday, not a lot of loudness in the Delta airplanes, and yeah, quite a few KLM heavies that use their reversers actually. Let's see how today fares. Already better start than yesterday. That one is approved. Good morning, Professor Darshane, Barry, Sven, Marja, Clemens, yeah, Mick. Let's see. Turkish, flight 1951, arriving from Istanbul in the foreground, and we have an SAS CRJ arriving from Copenhagen in the background. And there is a Delta A330neo flying downwind. I'm thinking I should be able to see it if I know where to look. Yesterday clouds were in the way. Today that is not the case. Also looking up and around me, I do see some contrail remnants here and there. I actually also see some heavies producing some vapor as they pass overhead. Morgen Marjan. Hey Leroy, goedemorgen. Welcome all others who have joined in the meantime. Turkish Airlines flight 1951 arriving from Istanbul, 2 hours and 59 minutes underway. A330-300. Pieter, goedemorgen. Plan Watcher, good to see you again. Carbike Paradise, good morning. Right, I think the mobile lab is stilting. Right, it's on the move. Back to onto the next stop, which is probably a bit further up ahead. Hard to see where exactly because of the overgrown grass. No. Three in a row. Each their own throne. Right, up next, SAS flight 2551 arriving from Copenhagen. A flight that lasts an hour and 4 minutes as we speak. CRJ900 long range. Airplane in the background. Approaching the glide slope. Six-year-old airplane. First flight of this airplane was in January 2018. I have the same thing, Sven. Turkish always reminds me of this, the movie Snatch. Peter, goedemorgen. Right, it is a mobile laboratory. It is really interesting. There's a desk on this side, all kinds of machines. Jesse and Walt would be envious. Alrighty. EasyJet up next. A320neo arriving from London Luton. Just a mobile laboratory. Alright. What are they doing? Hey there, hi ho, silver lining. Good morning, Jeff. It is measuring the grass length to make sure the cutting is done right. And I think that's a long shot, not very probable. Film Noir, NYC, good morning. Hey there, Mark, good morning. Kelly, good morning. Paddy, Rafael, good morning. SAS Flight 821 arriving from Oslo, Star Alliance livery, A319. Regular A319, but the cockpit look almost makes you think this is a Neo. Now, got the mic on the camera again, because there is absolutely no wind whatsoever right here, right now. Well, there is a little bit wind over there, apparently. Not so much over here. Not feeling a single breeze. Next up, El Al, Dreamliner, arriving from Tel Aviv, flight 337. Boeing 7879 Dreamliner, 4 hours and 15 minutes on the way. 5-year-old airplane. Had its first flight in June 2019. Satoris, goedemorgen. Wolf says a lot of birds around. No, well, right now not so much. Not so many. I think it's too warm for them, or too early, or both. Indeed, Nick. Lavatory, taking the piss. Now I'm again reminded of Snatch. Don't take the piss, Boris. Sven says, haven't you heard? It was my understanding that the bird is the word. Bird. Jesse Mears, good morning. Nice day indeed. We have an expression in Dutch that says, de mussen vallen van het dak. Where it is so warm that birds are falling off the rooftops. The absence of wind and the sun shining uninterruptedly already. It's quite warm. This promises to be one of those days. Or to become one of those days, I should say. Han, goedemorgen. And indeed, as Haye Voorhorst says, they're doing research, ground research. Not sure what they are looking for or testing for. This is Delta Airlines, flight 56, the first A330 Neo of the show. This one arriving from Salt Lake City. Has taken this airplane 9.5 hours to get here so far. 2 years old. yeah. Good morning, Tom Boss. Good morning, Mart. Hadi Lise. Still at Texel? Let's see. We have an airplane turning in the background. 777-200 I think. Yeah, it is. United Airlines arriving from San Francisco. Hadi Sam, goedemorgen. The next airplane to arrive behind the 777 is Lot Embraer 190, arriving from Warsaw. If I recall correctly, one of the lots coming in today is also the, and I totally mispronounce that always, Kreski special livery, the one with the gravity tag on the rear side of the fuselage. Now there's also the KLM 100 years coming. Only one queen, I think, unless we know that the other queen was coming from the west, from the east. I expected between 1 and 2. So that's going to land on runway 27. A380, also a bit late, 1:30 ETA. Going to runway 27 undoubtedly. Roy, goedemorgen, good morning. Tuning in from sunny Os. I'm hearing something overhead. Oh, no, not overhead, behind me. Coast Guard flying out the Dash 8. Also something coming this way, flying outbound to the north. Bit of high clouds looking to the south, further south. The rest of the horizon nearly cloudless. There do seem to be some clouds in the background further to the north, although they are not interfering with glide slope visibility, luckily. Fritz, guten Morgen, herzlich willkommen. Joao, bom dia. Tina, goedemorgen. And Lisa has to go back home tomorrow. Ah. That is unfortunate. Arrival from San Francisco. United 777-200 QJ, goedemorgen, good morning. The green truck is doing soil research, I think. I think they're taking samples of the soil, and it's basically a mobile laboratory. You have to wear boots and gloves. No black gloves though. That's what the left sign says. Black gloves are prohibited. I think that's racism, isn't it? Huh. Never thought they would be racist. Well, there you go. Learn something new every day. Only here on AMS Live. Good morning, Keaton Productions. Tuning in from cloudy Stockholm. Sending over some sunshine to you guys then. Hey there, Jeff. Morning. Tom, goedemorgen. Hey Klaas, goedemorgen. Ah, okay. First go to Schiphol. Scheveningen. Yeah, well, no worries. Hope to see you then on a Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your day. This is lot flight 265, Embraer 190 arriving from Warsaw. 1 hour and 43 minutes underway. 1 hour and 43 minutes. 13 years old, first flight January 2011. Morgan, André. Floaty. You can see just how little wind there is. The windmills in the background hardly spinning. They usually spin very slowly with the slightest of breezes. And that's exactly what they're doing right now. It's odd because there's a lot of blue in the sky. There doesn't seem to be any Viagra floating through it. The windsock proves that. Wolfgang said there was a name on the back. The CPT factory, AP Vandenberg. Hey, related to Dirk. Also a certificate of something. Valid until 25? Hard to see. The CPT factory. Right. Now, yesterday it was a bit hard to see. Today, no issues whatsoever. 777-300 on the downwind leg arriving from Johannesburg. KLM flight 592 flying off the coast of Bloemendaal. Just for frame of reference. Northwest of me. And the next airplane should be turning in somewhere further up ahead. There it is. EasyJet A320neo arriving from Gatwick. Stickers protesting against Black Pete. Well, Black Pete has a black face, so this man-woman depiction had a black hand. Cone penetration test equipment, whatever that may be, James Mail says. Cone penetration test. Huh. It's almost... Anyway. Right, that is the manufacturer of the machine. Okay. Maker of ground test machines. There you have it. Should see an Embraer 175 approach from the right somewhere in the background. Yeah, we do. And further to the north, Delta Airlines Flight 74, which today is flown on an A330, is also approaching the glide slope from the other side, from the left. Now that is usually at the 7 o'clock of the number 2. I'm thinking you need to look a bit lower. Then again, it's always hard to estimate where the airplanes are ah yeah, there it is. Where it is in actuality, based on what you see on flight radar. Yeah, cone penetration also sounded a little dirty to me, Lies. Right, Klaas signs off. PPT Cure Boy. Enjoy Scheveningen with the ladies. EasyJet A320 Neo, arriving from Gatwick. Hey Marissa, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, hope all is well over here. Not completely alone, we have somebody sitting on the bench. We have some people sitting in the grass over there. Also some people in the background near the fence, the parking place of the Spottersplatz itself. Let's quickly turn back. Embraer 175 coming in next. Arriving from Prague with the Delta A330 arriving from Atlanta and a 777-300 arriving from Johannesburg behind it. Hey there, Epic good morning. Crystal, goedemorgen. Tuning in from Enschede, I am assuming. Hey there, Izzy, good morning, good to see you again. Meanwhile, K2 just passed me by. Quick wave. Nice wheelie. Now there's definitely some contrails being formed. This past west to east, already substantially east of me. Now, providing the only cloudy backdrop in the sky over here right now. Is that a shower forming over Rick Meester's home? That's for doing all those rain dances, wishing rainy weather over here, Rick. Karma. Delta Airlines Flight 74 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. A330-300, 8 hours 4 minutes underway. 8-year-old airplane, first flight May 2016. Let's look and listen. Good morning, Alan. who's tuning in from the northeast of England. Hope you guys are having decent weather over there. Naga says, good morning, welcome back, good to see you again. Right, one cloudy backdrop. Is that that cloud, is that flipping me off? Goddamn clouds. Yeah, cloud mountain in the background, Roy. Not sure if it is a friendly cloud or if it has ill intentions. This is KLM Flight 592, the 777-300 that we already saw on the downwind left of us, arriving from Johannesburg, South Africa. Johannesburg, 10 hours and 34 minutes on the way. 16 years old, first flight March 2008. Shiny flap surfaces, beautiful. More overhead passing traffic, outbound. Little Embraer by the looks of it. Good morning, True Talk, Peter. In bed with the flu. Yeah, it's winter over there, right? So all the airway infections running about probably. All the best, mate. Hadi Erwin, goedemorgen. Indeed, Lisa. Clouds these days. Back in the day, when they still were well behaved. Croatia Airlines is next. It's an A319. The daily flight between Zagreb and Amsterdam. Flight 450, the 9A CTH. 1 hour and 47 minutes on the way, 26 years old already, a true millennial. May 1998. Hey Leinders, good morning. Adriaan, goedemorgen. Good to see you all. Happy Monday to each and every one of you. Good morning, boy. What's up, boy? Nice name. Little butt shot to boot. Hey, Keaton Productions' mom is from Friesland. Everybody freeze. Time for another SAS CRJ. Number 2 already. Michael is missing out. But there you go, flying on behalf of SAS, flight 1553 CRJ900 ER. With a nice cloudy backdrop. Arriving from Stockholm, 1 hour and 47 minutes on the way, 12-year-old airplane, first flight November 2011. Hey, and I am feeling a breeze of wind for the first time in my neck. Nice. A little bit of refreshment. Of course, I have brought a liter of vodka with me to cool down, but stay hydrated. Sometimes you need a little bit extra. But thank you so much for your kind words, Erin. And good morning, OC. Or is it Ok? Probably OC. OC, can you see? Two airplanes in harmony. What a place to be. Howdy Infinity, goedemorgen kerel. Good to see you. Hope all is well, mate. Jan, goedemorgen. Tuning in from Beekbergen. Let's quickly turn back. Delta Airlines, another A330-300, flight 160, arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. 7 hours and 37 minutes on the way. Will it get loud? Let's hope so. The airplane is 17 years old. Began flying in October of the year 2006. Yes. That's more like it. Already I'm liking the Delta A330s of today better than the ones of yesterday. Hey Clemencia, morning. How's the sourdough experiment, the sourdough loaf experiment going? Well, I did bake 2 of them, managing to get a viable starter just using rye flour is working a treat. So if I feed the starter, it doubles in size within 4 hours. So it's a very active starter. I'm still finding the sweet spot with the amount of bulk rice, the time and the proofing. My first loaf was relatively flat. The second one was a bit better. No, the first one was a bit better. And the second one was a bit burnt, but the taste was good. But I'm still trying to figure out the right variables, the right time to proof, the right time, the right amount of bulk fermentation, and also the duration and temperature of my oven, because I used to bake bread with a different oven when I was living in a different home. Now I have one of those smaller ovens that comes with the kitchen, and that's a little bit tricky for me. Still have to find the sweet spot. What is the right temperature? Is it the actual temperature? Is it too high? Is it too low? Work in progress. En Lise gaat strijden in de duinen. Plezant, veel plezier. Floris, goedemorgen. Love for Aviation, good morning. Josia, good morning. Erik, goedemorgen. We have a Dreamliner arriving from Cartagena, KLM, flight 741, and an A319 from Lufthansa behind it. Flying AMS Live logo, 7879 Dreamliner, 9 hours and 15 minutes on the way to get from Colombia to where it is right now, the BHN. The bomb. 6 years old, first flight January 2018. Morgan, German Monster, please bring some lower temperatures to Berlin. Well, not sure if we are still the area with low temperatures. They are getting higher. They are already higher than they were yesterday. Remember, I am standing here with shorts on and just a t-shirt on. But whatever lower temperature we have, I will send to Berlin. Hopefully it'll arrive in time. We'll keep you posted, Clemencia. I think it's just a matter of trial and error. Also still trying to find the right timing for everything. When do I feed the starter? When do I mix it? So many different recipes with different variables. Squeakiness in the brakes. Not just exclusive to Embraers apparently. Looking up and around me, no contrails in the immediate vicinity. Maybe later. Right now another Lufthansa in the Star Alliance livery coming in from Munich, flight 2302, A319. An hour and 6 minutes underway. The Dailt, D-A-I-L-T, which is 26 years old, had its first flight in October 1997. Josephine, good morning. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. 10 minutes to spare. Hey. Oh, it's a Chinook. I thought I heard a helicopter. I thought I saw the Coast Guard, but it is a Chinook. There you go. Very characteristic sound. Hey Evelyn, goedemorgen, good morning. Lurking in the background. Well, let's turn back. We have A777 coming in. KLM flight 598 arriving from Cape Town, South Africa. 777-300 11 hours and 8 minutes on the way. The PHBVV, which is 3 years old and had its first flight in December 2020. And the Flying Banana, nicknamed in Sweden. Nice. Good morning, John. Tuning in from San Francisco. Thick marine layer in the skies. Well, we also sometimes have that over here. West coast of the Netherlands, also adjacent to the North Sea, can also sometimes bring foggy conditions to the coastal regions. But typically not this time of year. Here at 52 degrees latitude. Sun is up really early, burns away any fog that might form overnight most of the time. Hans, goedemorgen. Wei, goedemorgen. Japanese characters, good morning. Or good afternoon for you. Or is it evening already? Probably evening, early evening, dinner time. Konnichiwa. 3 airplanes on the glide slope. 737-800 arriving from Paris, Charles de Gaulle in the foreground, A320 arriving from Malta, KLM Malta in the background, and number 3 is EasyJet A319 arriving from Prague. Time for a sip of vodka. KLM flight 1402, 737-800, 43 minutes it has taken this airplane to get here from Paris, Charles de Gaulle. PHBGA, 16 years old, first flight March 2008. Also, contrail coming this way. Seems to be en route from Frankfurt to the United States or something. Looking at the wing angle, I'm saying this is an Airbus. I'm not sure if it is winglets, might be a 330. Might also be completely off, but just a quick glance behind me to see where the next airplane is at. Is it looking at the back? I'm reconsidering. This is a 777 on second look. If I have to call it, I'd say this is a 777. Tail looks a bit flattish. Where is it? You tell me. Just south of me. Airbus A321. Ah, well, there you go. So much for my expertise, eh? Okay, Malta coming in with a bang, or reverses in this case. Seven 710 United, right. Hadi Tigo, goedemorgen. Marines, goedemorgen. Well, others who have joined in the meantime, good morning, welcome to the show. You are watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are standing along the Polderbaan, runway 18 right. At the moment the only runway being used for arrivals. There's hardly any wind. What wind there is blowing from the south, more or less. Warm summery day. And if you see in the background the windmills hardly spinning. Not a lot of wind energy being produced today. EasyJet A319 arriving from Prague in the Czech Republic. Now next up, a beautiful airplane arriving from Sofia. Bulgaria Air A220, aka the Bombardier C series. It's the 300. Two airplanes on the glide slope. Third one is approaching from the east in the background. We're now looking to the north. The airplanes are approaching north to south. Bulgaria Air A330 Bombardier C series 300 A220 in the foreground. Behind it is a Transavia 737-800 arriving from Olbia. The airplane number 3 is KLM E2 Embraer arriving from Berlin. Nice linear 3 airplane glide slope shot here. Hi Monique, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, hope all is well. Sunny in Hilversum probably as well. Duration of this flight 2 hours and 32 minutes, Sofia to Amsterdam, and its registration, very fitting, the LZ AMS. Nice. New airplane. This airplane began flying in February this year. What's that on the nose? A little butterfly shape or something. It's the LZ AMS. Coming to AMS live, on AMS Live. Next up, Transavia in the Sunweb livery, arriving from Olbia. Transavia flight 6916. 1 hour 57 minutes it has taken this airplane so far to get from Olbia to Amsterdam. It is 8 years old, began flying in February 2016. Good morning Robin, and good morning Milo Games. Milo asks or says, I hope you can spot me tomorrow. Unfortunately I cannot, because I have my day job on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So after today, the next day, hopefully when the weather will allow me to, will be Thursday. So far the weather forecast looks good, looks promising. Right, Christopher Coote doing morning cardio up ahead. And he's not alone, because further up... Oh no, back to autofocus, manual focus then. Further up ahead, also some ducks, although hard to see, since they still haven't cut the grass here. Next up is an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Berlin, KLM flight 1772. An hour and a minute has this flight taken so far. Brand new airplane, less than a year old. Celebrating its first birthday this month. Began flying in July 2023. And it's typical KLM fashion, keeping up the speed. Take it late, sooner to the gate. And yes, Keaton Productions, I do ever film departures as well. Depends on the wind. I do prefer arrivals over departures. Arrivals can be very boring here. Departures can too, but less often and less regularly. Now looking up and around me, cirrus clouds. Right now also a little bit of cloud formation to the southeast. Nothing substantial. It does look like further south a bit more nebulosity. At the moment just one contrail visible over there, really far away already. Nothing coming this way on either side. There are two airplanes on the glide slope already. Hey clouds, good morning. And it is good, Dylan. How is it with you? We have two 737-800s on the glide slope. In the foreground, Transavia arriving from Palma de Mallorca, and behind it is Tarom, arriving from Bucharest. The third 737-800 is flying base, so we are going to see 3 consecutive 737-800s from 3 different operators. Third one flying base now, KLM. And Embraer 190 arriving from Geneva behind it. This is Transavia flight 5626, arriving from Palma de Mallorca. Nearly 2 hours on the way, 1 hour 58 minutes. 15-year-old airplane. What have we here? That looks like a 777-200. Hey Petrikov, good morning. A3, goedemorgen. And again, a glide slope with 2 737s back to back. Tarom in the foreground, KLM in the background, and Embraer 190 arriving from Geneva is looking to become number 3. Chinese triple over mainland North Holland. Hey, what is up? Mr. Biker, also back in the chat. Good to see you, Paul. Hope you've had a good Sunday yesterday. Hope all is well in Yorkshire. What's the weather over there? Similar to what we have over here, or this is one of those days where either one of the two countries has rain and the other has sunshine. Sharing is caring. Ah, also sunshine in Yorkshire. Savor the moment, my friend. Here, the same. In fact, I'm standing here with my t-shirt on and my shorts on, which is something I didn't foresee yesterday. When standing here with long sleeves, everything, it still felt a bit chilly. Lance is also reporting sunshine. Good to see you again, Lance. Hope all is well. Happy to hear that you guys are having sunshine over there as well. First Queen approaching, 747 from Jeddah, Carbike Paradise says. Yeah, and that is, I think, the only 747 we are going to see today, sadly. Hey Goosey, good morning. Goosey looks really forward to my Monday streams to ease into the week. Well, it's easy going weather over here, so it's definitely not going to be very eventful in the go-around department, I suspect. We have had a few loud landings already, but that is about it. Morning, Dutch Kangaroo. Mitchell, good morning. Right. If you tuned in later, you might have missed a helicopter. What was it called again? Not the Apache, but the Chinook. Also a channel first. Not sure what the occasion was, why it was over here. But it was nice to see and particularly to hear. Morning, Miss Wolves. I am absolutely good, thank you for asking. Hope that also goes for you. Over here, as you can see, the weather is nice and sunny. Warm temperatures actually, hardly any wind. Only brought a liter of vodka. I should have brought 1.5 liters. So I'm not sure if I will stay properly hydrated today. Have to ration it. Embraer 190 arriving from Geneva up next. KLM flight 1930. 1 hour and 11 minutes underway. The PH EZZ. 10 years old. First flight November 2013. And we have some youth on bicycles passing by in the background, which you might have picked up on. Now sit back and relax, folks. We are going to get some loud heavies over here. Car Bike Paradise asks if I watched the game between England and Spain yesterday. No, mate. I don't watch any football. I haven't seen any of the matches. I've heard the results and that's it. Frankly, I couldn't care less. Not my type of game. Hey, Harry and a compadre. Doing a flyby. Harry and Co have been accounted for. Also formation flying. Spotted a little airplane that is approaching the glide slope from the west just now. Right. I think it was... well, it was over there somewhere. Let's go back to the airplanes we see best and are closest by. Hi Stefan, goedemorgen, good morning. A320neo arriving from London Heathrow. BA flight 430, 39 minutes underway. Brand new airplane. Oh, really brand new. Began flying in June this year, last month. One of the latest and greatest Neos. That the upholstery still smells like new. Now I spy with my little eye on flight radar 777 arriving from China up first. We have a 777 arriving from Aguadilla. And we have a 747 arriving from Jeddah. First up, China Southern, flight 495, arriving from Shanghai in China. 10 hours and 44 minutes underway. This is a 777 freighter, the B2027, which is 9 years old and had its first flight back in 2015 in May. Let's look and listen. That was not the deal. We said reversers, let's get loud. I think the lack of let's get loud emojis in the chat is why this airplane did not comply with the rules and regulations over here. I think we need to do better next time round. Now luckily we do get a chance for that pretty soon. We have two narrow bodies up first. Then we have a 747 and then we have Emirates Sky Cargo. Now let's see. Her Majesty should approach from the right. There she is. Saudia arriving from Jeddah. Hey, Chris. Yeah, Chris is pretty good. Chris is saying, if you like what you've been seeing so far and you haven't already, don't forget to drop a like. You make a good point there, Chris. Thank you. Now, 2 little entrees before the main dishes get served over here. KLM 1200 up first, E2 Embraer arriving from Copenhagen, 1 hour and 4 minutes on the way. The PH-NXG, 2 years old, first flight November 2021. Now, next up, Air France flight 1444, arriving from Paris Charles de Gaulle. Hey Siegfried, goedemorgen. Harry, good morning, tuning in from Ontario. Hope all is well over there. RDW, goedemorgen. Also hearing something pass overhead. Only vaguely visible. No, source clouds are a bit too much in the way, I think. Never mind. Well, quick look at the touchdown and then back to the Queen. Remember, it was this flight that went around earlier. Now, spoilers have deployed, the reversers have opened. It might still go around, but on the off chance that that is going to happen, let's quickly turn back to the main dishes. Saudia, flight 933 up next, arriving from Jeddah, 747-400 freighter, 5 hours and 31 minutes on the way, 27 years old. This airplane had its first flight in November 1996. November 1996. I think I was in the 2nd grade of middle school. Or high school, whatever you would like to call the school between elementary school and the university. Still 4 more years to go before the final exams. Must have been 14 or so. Back then, this airplane in the foreground already started flying. Started its career as a professional airplane. Optimus Toaster is pessimistic and says, I predict a quiet landing from this Saudia 747. I hope you're wrong, mate. Warm in Ontario and humid as well. Hope you can keep your head cool, Harry. Well, let's look and listen. Let's hope Optimus Toaster is wrong. Come on, son, get loud. Right, I'd call that not being wrong, but also not being right. That was half decent. Reversers did get applied, but only so-so. It could have been louder. Absolutely, Maria. El Rey is tuning in from Belfast. Good morning, mate. Hope all is well over there. Perfect timing if you tuned in just in time to see the landing of the Queen. I think it's going to be the only one of today's show, sadly. Right, spoilers lower. Looking behind me. Right. Orange Pride taking off. Is that here? No. That's not the Orange Pride, that's Delta. In that case, let us return. Emirates Sky Cargo up next, arriving from Aguadilla. Flight 9916, 777 freighter, 8 hours and 3 minutes. It has taken this airplane to get here. 8-year-old airplane, first flight August 2015. No redemption. They are keeping quiet today. Well, not too strange with the absence of wind. Right, Orange Pride from 24, or is it this one? Really far away. I think this is the Orange Pride, isn't it? Yeah. Going from the wrong runway with the backlight already. Hard to see any details on it. Now, we are going to see the beautiful Azzurro of ITA in a moment. First up, another E2 Embraer arriving from Edinburgh, KLM flight 924, 1 hour and 4 minutes underway. The PHNXN, 2 years old, first flight January 2022. And then an A320 arriving from Milan, ITA Airways flight 120. Iberia Express A320 behind it, already visible, arriving from Madrid. Peter OVNL, good morning. Ha Patrick, goedemorgen. Right, Lalanders is informing us that in 2.5 hours we have an A380 approaching. That is going to land on runway 27, well out of sight. In the meantime, let's have a refresh of the weather. So, wind blowing, well, wind there is blowing because there is only a 4-knot 2/4 wind is blowing from the south. Air temperature 21 degrees Celsius, few clouds at 4,500 feet, no significant changes expected in the upcoming time. Yeah, Chrissy Coot saying hi there. Howdy Louis, and good morning Andrea, Morgan. Welcome one and all. Sunny weather over here, hardly any wind. Nice summery weather, and ITA coming this way. ITA Airways flight 120, and I also see an A321neo approaching runway 27, which apparently has already opened up. It's going to stay open until 11:40 expectedly. Means that traffic arriving from the east right now in the upcoming 40 or so minutes will likely be assigned to runway 27. And this ITA arriving from Milan has taken 1 hour and 27 minutes to get here. Look at the beautiful shine. It looks a bit more matte than that new livery of JetBlue, doesn't it? I think the shade looks very similar, but for some reason the JetBlue looks a bit more shiny and this one looks a bit more matte. Maybe metallic or something. Aphrodite, goedemorgen. Good to see you again. Okay. Dirk says that the Chinook is participating in a military training. First time we saw a Chinook over here in the channel. We've seen the Apache before. Today was the debut of the Chinook. This is Iberia Express flight 3722 A320 arriving from Madrid. 1 hour and 54 minutes underway, 20 years old, first flight November 2003. All is well here. Absolutely, Aphrodite. Finally a chance to stand in t-shirt and shorts again. What more could a person want? Well, I'll tell ya. Cut the damn grass here. Hey there, Drew. Morning. EasyJet A320neo arriving from Geneva up next. After that, Air Canada. Chrissy Coot having breakfast in a colorful field of flowers. Yum 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 yum. Are you getting your protein in? Are those flies that you're eating? Yum 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 yum. EasyJet A320neo arriving from Geneva up next. 1 hour and 10 minutes underway, and we can already see Air Canada in the background. A flying AMS Live logo. What is up, Scott? Good evening. Good to have you back. Hope all is well. Captain Harry POV, good morning. Welcome back. Now, not a lot of humidity in the air. The contrails that are visible are very short. But here is one, and it is flying away from us, away with the sun in the back, so lighting should be relatively favorable. Is that a Dreamliner? It is flying from southeast to northwest, and it is already west of me. It's still a bit south of me. I think that is about the only one that I can see. No, there is a second one. That is closer to the sun. Looks to be flying to the northeast. Yeah, that's hard to see. Just see the contrail forming, hardly the airplane itself. Air Canada is coming here to rob the bank, folks. Hide your money. Air Canada flight 900. Arriving from Montreal. Air Canada 787. So this the Dreamliner contrail that we saw just now is going to Montreal, and this Dreamliner is arriving from Montreal. Like I said before, it's going to rob the bank, so hide your money. Air Canada flight 900, 6 hours and 5 minutes underway. 9-year-old airplane. First flight July 2015. And we see the identity of the bank robber. Hardly. Now check out the flaperon. Now acting as part of the spoiler system. When the spoiler is lower, it is going to fall in line again with the flaps. And then if the aileron gets applied, it will also go up and down respectively. Serves a triple purpose. Not sure if we are going to see it. Stupid K2 photo bombing. Our patience is being tested. Never mind. Never mind. Right, got a little light snack in between, an Embraer 175 arriving from Southampton, and then it is another Dreamliner coming in, KLM flight 644 arriving from New York, JFK. That's a 787-10. Do see something else approaching, turning in. That would be Air Canada flight 808. 777-200 long range. Morning, Yurti Doli. Hey there, Begum. Hey, do you wear headphones? I don't. Now, you don't have to tell me about exposure to noise and risks. It's only if it is a prolonged exposure, particularly with landing flights, that is never an issue. The number of decibels and the number of minutes of uninterrupted exposure. Makes that this is still a safe place to be standing at. Got an airplane passing overhead immediately. That looks like Lufty. Lufty A330. If I had to call it, I'd say Lufty A330. Quickly turn back. Yo, Huggy Bear, what is up? Good to see you again, Alan. Hope all is well. Are you suited up? KLM flight 644. Arriving from New York, JFK, 787-10 Dreamliner, 6 hours and 23 minutes underway. PHBKM. 1-year-old. First flight May 2023. Oh? What's you guys here? Sounded a lot like reversers being applied a little bit. Trying to show you again that triple purpose flaperon, which will fall in line with the flaps as soon as the spoilers lower. They are taking their sweet time today to do so. Ah yeah, there you go. Boom, now it's part of the flap system again and part of the aileron system. Anyway, this airplane type doesn't have that. Hey there, Barbara, good to see you again. Sit back and relax in Lurker's Lounge. The seats should be still should still be comfy. Air Canada flight 808 also coming here to rob the bank. All the Canadians are coming here to rob the bank apparently. Arriving from Toronto, 777-200 long range. Missed opportunity here. Flapper on, not part of the spoiler system. It's a bit in between, not acting as a flap now, but also not acting part of the spoiler system. Hey there, Mick. Morning. Right, Steven Seagal also back saying hi. What is up, Lily? Good morning. Royal Air Maroc. Well, it says RAM, but it is Electra Airways. I think it is flying for Air Arabia Maroc. Not sure if those are different entities. We also saw the traditional Royal Air Maroc airplanes twice earlier in the week. This is Electra Airways A320, I think flying for Air Arabia Maroc, arriving from Nador in Morocco, 2 hours and 30 minutes on the way. 21-year-old airplane. First began flying in September 2002. After this, time for another 777-200 arriving from Las Vegas. To the Electra Boogie. First up, a little electric butt shot. Nice and sizzly. Hey Martin Air, good morning. Good to see you again. Double triple time, ladies and gentlemen. 777-200 and then followed immediately by a 777-300 Another contrail passing immediately overhead. Really in the zenith. Now I can zoom in a bit more. Lufty Dreamliner? Question mark? I think so. I think that was a Lufty Dreamliner. Quickly back to the action on near ground level. KLM Flight 636 777-200 arriving from Las Vegas, 9 hours 31 minutes on the way. The PHBQE, 20 years old, first flight January 2004. Let's look and listen. Shiny flap surfaces. Man, squeaky clean. Wish they'd do car detailing too. My car could definitely go for a wash. Now, what is that? Is that regular outbound or is that? No, we already saw the Dash 8 of the Coast Guard, so cannot be it. No, wait, yeah, no, we did. I was confused. For a minute I thought we didn't, but we did. Coast Guard is out patrolling. We already saw it take off. Lucas, goedemorgen, good morning. And thanks, Lurk. Frankfurt Austin, Lufthansa 7879. Next up, 777-300 arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao, 8 hours 40 minutes on the way. The PH-BVG, 12 years old, first flight May 2012. Curaçao, the sea in the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, Curaçao, laying off the coast of Venezuela in the Caribbean Sea. With a complicated status within the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Let's leave it at that. Morgen Jeffrey. Jeffrey will be flying at 1 o'clock. Inbound, outbound, where to? Big picture wise, looking to the south. Southwest. West. Southeast. East. Northeast. Wind on the scale of chimney smoke. Just a light breeze. Wind on the scale of mirror-like water. Current status. Looking to the north. And lastly to the northwest. We have 2 airplanes on the glide slope right now. 2 narrow bodies. The first one, KLM B789 arriving from Brussels. Second airplane is Transavia arriving from Barcelona. Third airplane should be on the glide slope already. Can we see it? Not sure that we do. On paper it should be on the glide slope. A737 arriving from Birmingham. Well, we'll see it soon enough. See that Jane is also back in the chat. Welcome back, good to see you again. Lily says, boy, I love your accent. Thank you so much, Lily. Hope my gibberish is comprehensible for you guys. KLM flight 1704 arriving from Brussels, Embraer 190, 31 minutes of flight. A measly 88 nautical miles this airplane has now flown. Visa, but this isn't a credit card. "15-year-old airplane. First flight October 2008. Captain and the first officer are busy controlling the airplane. Hey there, Nick. Morning. And indeed, Lily, the weather is stable. With the exception of tomorrow and Wednesday, and coincidentally those are my regular working days, we do have some droplets, some precipitation expected. That's, I think, about it for the rest of the week, but then again, it can always change. Now, this is Transavia, or at least it is a flight on behalf of Transavia, but flown by AlbaStar. Arriving from Barcelona, 737-800. 1 hour 45 minutes this flight has taken so far. The ECNAB. First flight in January 2000, making this airplane 24 years old. And that is exactly why I am still fond of regular quote-unquote 737s. In the hands of pilots using the reversers, it is a gnarly loud airplane. As often is demonstrated also by the pilots of Ryanair. Any more queens expected, asks Jane. Sadly, not to this runway. I think there was one expected between 1 and 2 arriving from the east. So that is going to land on runway 27. So for now the plan is to stick around until the A380 has landed, which will land on runway 27 most likely. Then call it a day. Unfortunately, not as eventful today as it was yesterday in that respect. Ilse asks, do you do this for a living? Sadly, the answer is no. YouTube does not pay nearly enough yet for me to be able to do this as a full-time living. It is my goal someday to be able to do it full-time, or at least have the channel grown into something that generates an income that my current day job can be demoted to a side hustle, an optional side hustle. That would be sweet. Lily asks, biker, are you a biker for real? Are you faking it? Are you faking it, Paul? Are you a fake biker? Oh, Lily, you do know that he is a covert 1%er, right? He's an Hell's Angel in disguise. Anyway, we saw the KLM 737-900 in the SkyTeam livery just now. Hashtag fake biker. Careful, Jane. He and his mates will look you up in Moscow and he will tear down the place with baseball bats if you don't behave. Hey there, Benji, good morning. Got a BA City Flyer up next, arriving from London City, Embraer 190, 39 minutes on the way. The airplane is 12 years old, had its first flight in January 2012. Bring it on, Jane says. Ooh, you talk the talk, but do you walk the walk? Marijn says, I don't think any Brit will be going to Moscow anytime soon. Well, I don't know. Maybe Paul has been learning Russian besides French and can bluff his way into Russia. You never know. You never know. Ilse says, don't you want to be a pilot? Well, I did. I'm too old now. We'll be turning 42 next month, and even if age wasn't a limitation, then my eyes are. That's the major bottleneck. I'm what is called color vision deficient, which means that although I can see that the grass is green and that the top half of the airplane is orange and a red light is red, my sensitivity is not good enough to be deemed safe to fly. In other words, colorblind, even though I do see color and not just 50 shades of grey. Embraer 175 arriving from Norwich up next. And another cloud in the background. It is a friendly cloud. No flipping fingers. seems that the majority of the airplanes coming in for now are Embraers. There is one exception, an A320 arriving from Nador. Meanwhile, two Embraers visible, Embraer 175, Embraer 190, both KLM. In the foreground, the airplane arriving from Norwich. In the background, the airplane arriving from Manchester. Interesting how Paul didn't reject or counter spoke when I said he was a 1% biker who has no qualms going into Russia to tear down the place. I think you should take that as a warning, Jane. Selby Cookie says good morning without a worry in Dutch, which rhymes goedemorgen zonder zorgen. Goedemorgen Selby Cookie en goedemorgen Reddit, good morning. Everybody okay? Well, I definitely am. Did take my vitamin D tablet this morning, but in hindsight I shouldn't have. I think we are saving up some new stores in my body today with the sun exposure. Ooh, and Lily likes Hell's Angels. Well, as long as they don't tear down the place. I'm always surprised whenever I'm in Amsterdam and I'm in the red light district, the center, and you hear one of those bikes, those chopper bikes pass by, and you see them, and even though they are officially not allowed to wear their colors anymore, you can still recognize that they're of that club. Remarkable phenomenon. Then again, there are so many phenomena these days that are remarkable. The twin jet coming this way, although still in the vicinity of the sun, so once it has passed us by, it should be better visible. Got an LVNL van, Air Traffic Control Netherlands. It's also the website I look to see the current runway use. lvnl.nl. Dutch Air Traffic Control is what it means, the abbreviation. Oh, no plans to go to Russia with the gang. Okay, okay. So you're safe for now, Jane, for now. Friend Horatio is nervously sweating in the corner. Let's see. Incoming airplanes coming this way. One of them over there. Guess which one I happen to spot? Obviously the high carb the high carb version. That's not because his bum looks big in that livery. Quick look at an Embraer 190 arriving from Dublin. 1 hour and 2 minutes underway. 15 years old. First flight to April 2009. Let's have another look at that contrail that just passed us by and now is flying away from us. With the sun in our back, we should be able to make out a few more details. That looks like United. Is that a United 777? Frankfurt to somewhere United States, most likely. Our next airplane, the one exception to the onslaught of Embraers once again. Oh wow, look at this, look at this. I hope the camera can capture it. You can see the shadow of the contrail in the sky. It was really, well, it was a bit visible way better just now. You could really see a narrow dark column in the sky below the contrail. Look really spectacular here. Right, Electra Airways, the second one arriving from Nador. Contrail shadows, very nice. Now, it does sound like something passed me by. Oh yeah, but isn't producing a contrail. Luckily the airplane is visible rather nicely. Let's see, where is it vis-a-vis the contrail? Oh yeah, no. Yeah, trying to catch an airplane that isn't producing a contrail. It was flying parallel to the contrail, already visible, but couldn't see it. I think it was Lufty. The tail looked dark. I think there's a moth continuously coming back and sitting on my camera. Not sure why. What's so good about it? Lufty A330, Leroy says. Okay. Wind is picking up a little bit, which I'm not too sad about because it was getting a little bit warm over here. Now with a little bit of refreshing breeze, as you can see. Water is still rippleless, but there's definitely a little bit of wind blowing here. Still in the single digit knot speed. This is EasyJet flight 22515, arriving from London Luton, A320. 40 minutes on the way. Par for the course, 40 to 45 minutes. The London airports and Amsterdam flight time. As most of you will know by now, London, Paris, Luxembourg, all roughly average 40 to 45 minutes of flight time. Berlin, Copenhagen, Dublin, roughly an hour. Now, what we call in Dutch Wolkenstraat, literally translated street of clouds or cloud street, seems to be forming over there. You typically see that in the direction of the wind and typically over land. which is also why looking directly to the west where the sea is at as the crow flies about 10 miles or 15-16 kilometers away, you don't see anything. So the cloud street is basically indicating the direction of the wind today. This is KLM flight 1216, arrival from Stockholm, 737-800. And bribed Germ 5924 says, could you give my 10-year-old plain mad son Ashton a shout out please, Ian? Of course I can, Ian. Big shout out to Ashton if you're watching. Hope you're enjoying the show, mate. Welcome to Amsterdam. Let's see, we have another 2 airplanes on the glide slope. Embraer 175 arriving from Nice, which is nice, and an Embraer 190 arriving from Boshell. More bosses being dropped off in Boshell in Switzerland if you misbehave towards your staff. That's the risk you run here. Get deported to Boshell, never to come back. And Jane asks if we have a word for rain in the presence of sunshine. I don't think we do. No, I don't think we do. If we do, then I don't know of its existence. Howdy Thijs. Goedemorgen, good morning. Eden Real says rainbow rain. Yeah, well, we do have a word for rainbow. We do have many a word for rain. Not for rain when the sun is shining. And it's only rainbow rain if the rain is falling between you and the sun, of course. Or what was it? The sun behind you and the rain in front of you? Was that it? I forgot. Hey there, Bookie Meow. Wow. Morning. Hi Claudette, tuning in from Melbourne. Good evening. Claudette, that sounds Dutch. Hoi uit Melbourne, that sounds Dutch. Hudson, that sounds not Dutch. Are you a Dutchie having emigrated to Melbourne? Right. Choc-y has returned from Boshell. Went there, went to hell and came back alive. Our favorite high carb Embraer 190 proves that chocolate doesn't necessarily make your bum look big. Flying for KLM, flight 1944, Embraer 190. We all know the D APRI by now. And if you look below it, in the foreground, now above it and left of it, that was Fidel Castro. Fidel Castro looking for Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other is insane. Glamo. All kinds of chocolatey yumminess. Bonbons, chocolate cake. I'm also distracted by the sound of an airplane passing overhead. though it isn't producing a contrail, we do have a nimbocumulus over here. And a little contrail flying west to east, north of me. Etihad? Looks like Etihad. Etihad Dreamliner. One of those Goldilocks airplanes. Still looking up. There has to be an airplane in the vicinity that I'm hearing, though I'm not seeing it. Next up, Embraer 190 arriving from Newcastle. We have an Embraer 190 arriving from Aberdeen. Behind it already and turning in is an A321 arriving from Istanbul. Boxer shorts are undergarments, Gerrit. So even if I was wearing them, and I usually do, but that's besides the point. Normal shorts is what you mean, I think. And absolutely, shorts and t-shirt. Squeakiness in the brakes. I think we have a visual on Fidel Castro. Let's see if it is going to hover still somewhere. Hope you guys aren't getting dizzy. Just circling around, minding my own business. Right, well, no matter. German Airways up next, Embraer 190, flight 912 on behalf of KLM, returning from Aberdeen, flight time 1 hour and 4 minutes, Embraer 190 short range, 16 years old, first flight January 2008. Now, thank you so much for your super sticker, Marcel. Pair character doing a shaka sign with his hand saying cool for some ice cream. Thank you so much, my friend. I could definitely use some cooling down. It's getting warm here. Luckily the breeze is picking up a little bit. Time to take another sip of vodka. Meanwhile, an A321 BBN Airlines arriving from Istanbul, 3 hours and 10 minutes on the way. TC GPA. "16 years old. That ain't no Kestrel, Lance says. Well, what was it then? The European buzzard. Okay. Alan signing off. Catch you later. Thanks for joining, Alan. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you later in the week. Bookie Meow says you should set up a party tent. Yeah, that's a discussion we've had several times before already. First of all, my car will not fit a party tent. Second of all, setting that up when you're all alone is quite cumbersome. On days like today, it is doable, but if it is a bit more windy, it's going to be difficult. Also, prevents us from seeing overhead traffic for the majority. So no, I don't think that is going to be a good solution for the issue of warmth. Luckily over here it's usually cold, it's usually rainy. And if I have to believe the news, it's only going to get worse in the upcoming years. Andy Q is back. Good to see you again, Andy. Mirza, good day. Peter PDK also back. Good to see you. KLM flight 1406, arriving from Paris. With a little bit of reversers being applied there. Interesting. Next up, KLM flight 1070 Embraer 190 arriving from Bristol. How many of the narrow bodies are we going to see? Oh wow, there is an A330 coming, and there is a 787-10 also coming. That's good. Break the monotony of constantly Embraers a little bit. This is KLM flight 1070 arriving from Bristol. 15 minutes underway, Embraer 190, 6-year-old airplane, first flight February 2018. Is it test the reversers day today? That's interesting. Got a 737-800 arriving from Preveza, Transavia, flight 5792. Unbound traffic overhead. Ilse asks, what are reversers? Those are the engine brakes, so to speak, where you can use the engines to give thrust in the opposite direction the airplane is going into, which helps to brake and slow down the airplane. It's the slots that you see open up. And if they spool up the engines, you get reverse in the thrust in the opposite direction. That can help slow down the airplane together with the spoilers. Those are the upright thingies on the top of the wing that you see. That disrupts the airflow. Also makes the airplane lose speed, but more importantly lose lift. so that the airplane can taxi to the gate safely. Embraer 190 arriving from London City in the foreground. And the airplane behind it, that is KLM arriving from Montreal, A330-200. On paper there should be another Embraer 190 behind it. You can see the glistening in the bottom left third quadrant of your screen. Hey, you're welcome, Ilse. Okay, then flight 982 is what we are looking at. Embraer 190, arriving from London City. Nominal flight time, 41 minutes. 13 years old, this airplane. Began flying in August 2010. With a little bit of additional digital zoom, we can get the airplanes a little bit bigger. No reverser landing there. Means they're just braking with the brakes and the spoilers. Must be Saint's Day, Saint thrust of reverser. In reversed we thrust. More cloudy streets seem to be forming. This one very apparent. Just a single lane of clouds in line with the direction of the wind. Right, A330-200 up next, KLM, flight 696 arriving from Toronto. 6 hours 55 minutes on the way, the PHAOB. And this airplane is 18 years old and had its first flight in July 2005. Now, if it is reverser test day today, will this airplane get loud? Hey, and is that Mama Duck with the ducklings, or is that... That might be Mama Duck with two more grown-up ducklings. Hey, what is up? It's my favorite dickhead. What's going on, mate? Time for a Britty hopper, arriving from Humberside, flying for KLM City Hopper, flight 972. Another bigger airplane in the background lurking, creeping this way. KLM flight 758 would that be? Arriving from Panama City, 787-10 Dreamliner. First up the Britty hopper, arriving from Humberside. Embraer 190, 41 minutes on the way. 15 years old, first flight January 2009. Yo, what is up, Andy? Andy Q just gifted 10 memberships. What the fudge? Thank you so much for that. Andy, thank you. Very kind of you. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. There's 10 new members. Don't forget to say thank you if you are one of the recipients of Andy Q's gifted memberships. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Also Tony. Hey there. There's the WD-40. We've got a squeaker. Ah, I thought I heard something. Hey, what's that? Is there? No. Thought I saw something glistening. Turned out there was a little spider wire, spider web wire, a single wire. Right. In the meantime, the airplane is gone. Mama duck and her two ducklings are semi-visible. Fully visible, however, is KLM Flight 758. Arriving from Panama City. 787-10 Dreamliner, 9 hours and 29 minutes underway. The PH-BKD, 4 years old, first flight November 2019. Airplane behind it, 777-300 arriving from Vancouver. Hey there, Ashton. No worries, mate. Happy to oblige. What's this? It's 777 and another wannabe AMS Live logo. You can really see the difference between fake and real. The curvature just not the same. It's a fake logo. Luckily for me, the counterfeit logos are still very obvious, very easy to spot. But it is coming, flying AMS Live logo. However, in the foreground first will be KLM Flight 682, arriving from Vancouver. 777-300 8 hours and 57 minutes underway. The PH-BVO, biertje voor onderweg, beer for underway in Dutch. Nine-year-old airplane, first flight March 2015. Let's look and listen. Bookie Meow signing off to have lunch. See you later, enjoy your lunch. And also good morning Frits. Frits celebrates 7 months of membership and he writes: Morgen boy, wel een parasol mee voor vandaag? Nee, geen parasol mee, but I did apply sunscreen. Thank you so much for your continued support Frits. Hope you still like it in the lounge. Hope the AC is working accordingly. The next airplane to arrive is arriving from LAX. KLM flight 604, 100 years livery, 9 hours 49 minutes underway, the PHBKA. 5-year-old airplane, first flight June 2019. Big picture wise, what does it look like? Well, the nebulosity that we saw in the background in the south earlier, obviously with wind blowing from the south, is coming this way, slowly but surely. We have some high friendly clouds over here, well, low friendly clouds I should say, and some cirrus clouds higher up. There are still some contrails visible here and there. In fact, is that a big fat where did I see it? Yes, big fat Emirates A380. And we have something else passing to the other side. More Emirates. 777-300 Emirates back and forthing. Hey there Marina. An airport builder, morning. Morning Eli. Back to the Embraer 190s it is. This one seems to have been a little bit off course. Had to fly back to the glide slope by the looks of it. Interesting. Arriving from London City. KLM flight 984. 38 minutes underway. 14-year-old airplane. Not much to write home about. Remarkably frequent use of the reversers today. Wind is picking up a little bit. Time to do a quick update of the METAR, which I think will probably give us a bit more wind speed. Wind speed now 6 knots, 204, still blowing more or less from the south. Air temperature 22 degrees, few clouds at 4,800 feet. So those are the friendly cumulus clouds that you see. Cirrus clouds are higher. Quick paste of the METAR in the ticker. And then back to the camera control. Lily has to go. She says bye guys, we're calling. Bye Lily. Enjoy the rest of your day. Right. No clouds overhead now. Not seeing any finger flipping just yet, or no. The clouds are still friendly today. And thanks for the update, Clemencia. The A380 expected 130, so that is going to land on runway 27 as expected. Embraer 190 coming in. How many is this going to be? German Airways flying for KLM, arriving from Bordeaux, flight 1442. 1 hour 21 minutes underway. 15 years old, first flight January 2009. We have another airplane coming this way. Looks like a twin jet. Still in the vicinity of where the sun is shining, so only the contrail now visible. But maybe we can have a look once it has passed us by. Now we have a 737 for a change. But that's not all. There's an A330 behind it. What the fudge? Thought we were only going to see narrow bodies today. Yeah, me too. Little Transavia arriving from Catania. Catania. Is that like European Japanese cat island? Catania. Hadi Berend, goedemiddag. Sen going out for a walk. Adri also has to sign off. See you in the next one, Adri. Now, meanwhile, at contrail almost immediately overhead. First up, we're going to see this Delta A330 land, flight 136, arriving from Detroit. Or can we have no? I was thinking, can we have a quick look? Not gonna happen. Delta Airlines flight 136 is what we are looking at. It is arriving from Detroit, Michigan. A330-300, 7 hours and 14 minutes underway. 7-year-old airplane. First flight March 2017. And the contrail that was approaching has in the meantime passed and is now behind clouds. Typical. It was flying over here. Oh, now it is already way down there. Again, too far away. Go inside it with the approach of the Delta A330. Not over there. I am hearing something. I'm hearing something, but I'm not seeing anything. Yeah, no. Annoying. There is something out there. Little private plane, yeah. Nippon Cargo arriving from Anchorage in 42 minutes. You sure? Today? I didn't see anything on flight radar as I was checking before going out. Really? Cool. Nippon Cargo we don't see very often in this stream. Still looking up. Oh yeah, I do see the little plane now. Let's see if we can catch it. It isn't producing a contrail, obviously. Let's see, where do I need to look? A little bit more over there. There it is. Piper? Hard to see. Hard to see. Faint to hear. But at least we did catch it. Meanwhile, little twin jet is also coming this way. I say little, it looks little, but might not be. Looks like Lufthansa. Now, as it moves away from the sun, the contrast should become better. Definitely lufty. It is now flying a little bit to the north and east of me. Hardly any contrail production, as you guys can see. Is that a Dreamliner? Wing shape. Looks like a Dreamliner. I think it is. Let's see. Hey there, Yin. Morning. So there is a Nippon Cargo coming this way. Is that confirmed? Interesting. Meanwhile, KLM Flight 1004 arriving from London Heathrow, 737-800, 44 minutes on the way. Yada yada. Gotcha now, bastard. They're not producing contrails today. Definitely God damn it. There it is, producing a little contrail. Thought I saw a quad squad member. That looks like a 747. Right, so hard to see. Right, Nippon Cargo 7478 arriving from Anchorage. Awesome. It's been a long time since I last saw Nippon Cargo in one of the streams. ETA 1246. It's arriving from the west, so it's going to land on Polderbaan regardless. Unless they are doing a preparatory. No, there's a second runway going open at 1 o'clock, so they're not going to do a preparatory runway inspection around that time. I think. Alright, cool. Bonus Queen. I didn't see it on flight radar. Does it have destination AMS or NA or something? I really didn't see anything in the sky when I checked this morning before going out. Right, need more vodka. Time to get the thermos out, get the cooled vodka, the chilled. Destination AMS, okay, interesting. Really didn't see it. I always check which airplanes are airborne, what's their expected time of arrival, Queens in particular, they even have a filter. Well, I'll use my standard excuse, progressing age and lack of caffeine. Meanwhile, the Crow crew just did a flyby. Two of them over there, the other two doing some reconnaissance. Right, well, I think that is a duckling. I think that's one of the two ducklings. No, focus on that, focus on that, focus on that. Press. Right. Anyway. Let's see, Transavia arriving from Ibiza up next. Flight 5672, 2 hours and 6 minutes it has flown to get here. The PHHZO, 17 years old, first flight April 2007. Also getting loud. Rented pilots. Pretty sure that those weren't Dutch pilots. Nice, nice. Well, I'm not going to complain about this. Now, will the unthinkable happen? Will this Delta A330 also apply the reversers? That would be something, wouldn't it? KLM flight 767. It's an A330-300 arriving from Bonaire. Almost exactly 9 hours of flight time under its belt to get here. The PHAKF, the fuck off. That's also what I tell somebody who is annoying. Fuck off. Airplane is 9 years old, first flight October 2014. Let's listen. If the airplane doesn't get loud, then Austrian Wolf will get loud. Boo! Interesting species here. It's called a cyclist. Always has an attachment to its body with two circular and one triangular shape, called a bicycle. Next up, KLM Flight 936 arriving from Glasgow, 737-800, 1 hour 10 minutes underway. We do have another big bird coming next after that, arriving from Newark, 777-200 that would be United. Corendon A350 is also approaching the glide slope. Looks like it'll be the 4th airplane including this one. Plenty of Wi-Fi on board this airplane. Meanwhile, for the first time, the sun hiding a little bit behind a contrail remnant. Right, bonus queen inbound pretty soon, in 33 minutes. Nippon Cargo. It's been months since we last saw that on the stream. Michael, morning. 2 CRJs, I think, or did we see 3 today? I think 2 in the beginning, predominantly. You've missed. However, we are going to see Nippon Cargo 747 in half an hour or so. Next up, United Airlines in Star Alliance livery, flight 70, arriving from Newark, 6.5 hours underway. Star Alliance livery, 777-200 The airplane is 26. First flight was in October 1997. Despite all the blue in the sky, no Viagra in the air. Hardly any wind. Windsock indicating that. Next up will be Transavia, arriving from Zakynthos. Cumulus clouds in the lower atmosphere. Cirrus clouds in a higher atmosphere. Wind blowing, what wind there is blowing from this part of the sky, the south. I think some rain was expected for tonight. Upcoming hours, nice and summery still. A350 in the background. 350. Corendon, World to Fly, arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao in the foreground. Transavia arriving from Zakynthos in Greece. Flight time of the Transavia, 2 hours 57 minutes. 7-year-old airplane, first flight April 2017. Oh yeah, and we also saw a Chinook earlier in the stream, lest I forget. Which, dependent on how well the footage of the NCA 747 is going to be, might make it to a thumbnail. It's also nice. Hey, another chopper. Chop chop. That's the standard police helicopter that we have seen so regularly. Oh no, this isn't Airwolf. Two CRJs and a Chinook, mate. Yeah. That's what you get for sleeping in. You always brag, I'm always up early, but not early enough, my friend. Better pull all-nighters from now on forward. Well, you have 2 days off now. From Thursday on, all-nighters. You know what? Just don't ever sleep anymore, ever again. If only that were possible. A lot of people would probably think. 2 consecutive heavies. First up, Corendon, World to Fly, arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao, 8 hours 43 minutes on the way. Oh yeah, and the Finnair A350, the first airplane of the day. Nice. Standard livery though. Is there anyone who thinks that the A350 is an aesthetically displeasing airplane? Really? I think we can all agree that this is a beautiful airplane. Airwolf! Yay! Some recognition. Next up, KLM Flight 744, arriving from Lima, bringing home the Lima beans from Peru, or coffee beans more likely. No, those will be shipped over the sea. 777-300 11 hours and 39 minutes on the way, nearly half a day, ladies and gentlemen. No, we're not done yet with the heavies. We have another 777 coming in, turning in. KLM Flight 755. So let's quickly turn around and have a look. Goeiedag.
Uitwissen.
Wat zei je?
Mooi uitwissen, toch?
Dat klopt.
Ja.
Met wie heb ik het genoegen?
Ik kijk wel eens naar je programma. Ik vind altijd dat je er altijd van opsteekt, joh.
Dankjewel. Met wie heb ik het genoegen? Wie bent u?
Nou, ik ben gewoon een ex-brandweerman van Schiphol hier.
Een ex-brandweerman van Schiphol.
Ja.
Kijk eens aan.
Ja.
Leuk.
35 jaar gewerkt hier.
35 jaar.
Zoiets, ja.
Ook nog hier op het station bij de Polderbaan.
Ja, ook nog.
Ook nog.
Ja.
Leuk. Nice.
Heel kort was het.
Ja.
Maar hoe kom je aan al die gegevens, man? Die kisten, je weet alles, man.
Internet. Daar heb je apps voor tegenwoordig.
Oké.
Ja. Die kun je allemaal opzoeken.
Ja.
Dus als je weet waar je dat zoeken moet.
Ja, je zit er ook nooit bij, je staat er altijd bij.
Ik sta er altijd bij. Ja, ik moet om het statief heen lopen. Hè.
Ja.
Het is heel actief.
Ja. Ja. Heb je wel wat te eten?
Ik heb nu niks te eten mee. Nee.
Ik heb een tandje voor jou.
Nee joh, ben je gek? Nee joh, ik heb ook geen tijd. Nee joh, maar ik heb ook helemaal geen tijd om te eten. Ik ben hier de hele tijd bezig en aan het praten.
Een ketje, weet ik veel.
Nee joh, dankjewel, super lief, maar altijd als ik thuis kom dan heb ik eventjes, dan eet ik weer wat.
Nou, je zit zo in Lisse, toch?
Precies. Als er geen keukenhof is. Dan is het even de binnenwegen zoeken.
Ja. Maar je hebt wel eens met slechte weer gestaan hier.
Absoluut, ja.
Verdorie, dat denk ik.
Het houdt niet op. Afgelopen 10 maanden.
Verdorie, man, je hebt hier wel gestaan. Ik denk, nou,
Ja.
ik weet nooit lang dat dit er nog lang volhoudt hier.
Het
Maar
wordt.
dan laat je de eentjes even zien en dergelijke.
Ja, nou ja, nu zijn ze er ook niet echt. Het is rustig.
Ja. Nee, hartstikke leuk, man, dat ik je even gesproken.
Ja, leuk. Als je een keertje in de buurt bent, kom vooral even gedag zeggen.
Ik kom hier eigenlijk geregeld langs en niet een keer denk ik zal kijken of Boy er nou staat.
Woon je ook in de buurt hier?
Nou, ik woon in Battenverdorp.
Oh, ja, dat is Steenworp hier vandaan. So next up will be KLM Flight 755, as I am speaking here with a former firefighter of Schiphol who has worked at the firefighters at Schiphol for 35 years. This is KLM Flight 755 arriving from Guayaquil in Ecuador. 11 hours and 5 minutes on the way, 777-200. Let's look and listen. Ze zijn allemaal door de wasstraat geweest, dat valt op hè. Die flaps die zien er altijd super netjes uit. Ja. They've all gone through the car wash. Yeah, I was already mentioning if KLM also does car detailing, my car could also use a wash. Ja.
Maar je kent hem niet even, dit is nog wel een 777 toch?
Ja, 777-200.
Er weinig verschil tussen die A330 en
Het is, ja,
de wingtip zie je daar.
ja, oh, je bedoelt de Neo en de gewone 330. Ja, de wingtip. Ja, en de motor. De engine sound of de 330.
Ja. Maar zover ben ik nog niet.
Oh, maar dat komt wel. Kom hier vaak genoeg kijken, dan zie je het vanzelf.
Kijk, ik strooi met geld.
Je strooit.
Ik heb het ook klaar liggen voor je. Hey, ik zie je weer.
Hey, is goed man. Hele fijne dag nog.
Ja, jij ook.
Als je weer in de buurt bent, kom even gedag zeggen.
Zou jij?
Als je weer in de buurt bent, kom even gedag zeggen.
Kom ik even gedaan.
Is goed. So remarkably, a lot of the KLM heavies using the reversers today, which is odd because there's hardly any wind. Next up, JetBlue arriving from Boston. The old livery, not the new livery, the dark blue that we saw yesterday. A321 Neo, 6 hours and 28 minutes underway. The airplane is 2 years old, first flight June 2022. Nippon assigned to Polder, good to hear, thanks for the confirmation, Afrodite. Hey there Chris, good to see you again. H-Man. Plane talk. Indeed, the former firefighter offered to get me some chips or a croquette. Very sweet, of course. Imagine that, me chewing on some French fries over here. Nom, nom, nom. Next up, KLM Flight 1830 arriving from Stuttgart, Embraer 190. Making its way over here. More narrow bodies. Hey, A310 from Turkish also coming this way. Nice. Don't ever see them very often. Time to take another big swig of vodka. Stay properly hydrated. ML Productions still works at Schiphol as pushback / tower. Not tower. What do you do for a living? I'm a tower. Maybe in rugby. That's a 737 by the looks of it. Passing by. What the actual fudge is going on? They're all using the reversers today. Is that corporate policy? So strange, hardly any wind, long runway, plenty of distance to roll out, and they are actually using their reversers. Ah, did I mistake KLM for Delta? Well, it is two peas in a pod. That's the expression, right? It is more or less all the same. Well, not technically yet. Just a cooperation. Huh. It's France KLM. That's the same. That's the same corporation, right? Transavia up next, arriving from Bari. 737-800, flight 5820, 2 hours 16 minutes underway, 9 years old, first flight April 2015. Whoa! That was a nice wheelie. Low-key wheelie by the Transavia pilot flying. Don't see them very often with the 737s. Andy Q says audio is awesome today. Well, it is attached via that cat to the mic, to the camera once again, so I am turning along with the camera, which I couldn't do yesterday because of the wind, because I was using a blimp then. Blimp mitigates wind rumble very effectively, so whenever we have double-digit wind speeds, I revert to it. With single-digit wind speeds, the directionality you get with the microphone attached to the camera is so much better that I prefer to use that whenever possible. Triple 7 overhead coming this way. No, it is once again the airplane that we saw land initially in the stream, the A350 Finnair. Keep mistaking the sound, the initial sound. The A350 for 777. We saw it land in the beginning of the stream. First airplane of the day, luckily in the nick of time. Hey Matt, goedemiddag. Back again. Now, ULS Cargo A310. Flight number is for referring to Turkish, so I'm thinking this is a flight on behalf of Turkish. A310, Istanbul, Amsterdam, 3 hours exactly the flight time, so that is nominal, par for the course. The airplane, holy shit, is 32 years old. The first flight of this airplane was in March 1992. I think half of my moderators in the chat now wasn't born yet by then. Back then. This is also one of the 2 planes that Wolfgang saw in Linz a few weeks ago. Awesome. Bom dia Maria, good to see ya. So, an Ulcer airplane. It's also one of the last A310s flying, Wolfgang says. There you go. Now, let's see. That did look nice. Not sure if that also has thumbnail potential or not, compared with the Nippon that is also expected still. Hey there Elias, bom dia. And Andy, if you want to see what kind of equipment I use, you best surf to the About section of the channel. There's a list over there of the equipment that I'm using. Rivet joint overhead, unable to see it. We've got clouds interfering with visibility. Combo shot of 737 arriving from Milan and a bird control vehicle in the foreground. Next up, Sky Express, arriving from Rhodes. A320neo flight 1500, 3 hours and 39 minutes underway, brand new airplane. Really brand new, first flight May this year. Oh, the lot in the Greski is delayed. That means we're not going to see it then. It is going to land on runway 27. Keep hearing traffic overhead. The clouds are forming an obstruction right now. More nebulosity already forming. And we have some high clouds and low clouds that are interfering with visibility right now over here. Right, Sky Express up next. Hey there, Phil. Morning. Michael, morning. Leaving tonight. Ah, apparently Greece is no longer bliss. At least not on this new airplane. E2 Embraer coming in next, arriving from Bergen. Got a 737 behind it. 737 arriving from Madrid. Delta A330neo arriving from Seattle, which you can see now just turned onto the glide slope in the background. Airplane glide slope shot. And Norwegian and Top Air Portugal also coming this way. Nippon in about 7 minutes. Thanks for the update, Aphrodite. Nippon Cargo Airlines. Is it the 747-8? Probably. Where's the 400? Seven 478. Okay. Right. Next up, KLM 1502. Arriving from Madrid. Seven 737-800, 1 hour 54 minutes underway. The airplane is 24 years old, first flight May 2000, and oh, it's a guy on, young kid on an electric scooter or something passed by. Now, in the meantime, big picture wise, looking to the north, all looks good still. Looking to the east, you can already see the nebulosity in the sky. The milkiness is coming closer, and if you look to the south, you can see it has already arrived over here. So the sun is now hiding behind some milkiness. Looking to the west, still looks okay. Definitely an increase in cloudiness, particularly higher up in the sky. Contrails from Germany to the United States passing overhead will probably no longer be visible that well. Delta Airlines Flight 144 up next, arriving from Seattle, A330neo. 9 hours 22 minutes underway, 4-year-old airplane, first flight July 2019. Phil asks, breezy? Nah, not really. Well, it depends on your definition of what is a breeze. I think the wind has been 4 knots or so. Let's rephrase it. If the clouds are still more or less visible in the water, would you call it breezy or not? I'm inclined not to call it breezy. Izzy asks if somebody can explain the purpose of the wind turbines. Well, to generate wind electricity. It's what they're all here for. Although conspiracy theorists might argue that it is being used, they're being used to generate wind. Steven Seagal says hi. Also doing circles around the block. Just doing circles. Constantly doing circles. Each circle is different from the other one. Top Air Portugal up next, arriving from Lisbon. It's a regular A320. Flight 668, 2 hours and 20 minutes underway. 15-year-old airplane. Well, if you think about it, it might be possible that those windmills are in fact there to produce wind. They are always spinning more faster when there is more wind. So yeah, if you put one and one together, it does seem to make sense that these turbines are producing wind. The harder they spin, the more windy it becomes. Indeed, to make it more difficult for pilots. It's all training equipment, that's it. Now, next up is Norwegian. As we had a scooter driver doing a long wheelie on the cycling path. This is Henk. Say hi to Henk. Could make that the thumbnail. Him looking up in the sky and then some thinking clouds next to it. Or maybe Photoshop this into my infamous thumbnail where I'm flipping off that flipping finger cloud. With him looking up saying whatever. Just got inspired to do some photoshopping. Now Han, good that you're back. Your favorite airliner coming in next. A320neo. Hey Greet, goedemiddag. Flying flight 1377, I'm next, A320neo, arriving from Alicante. Alicante. Alicante? Now, sometimes people say, oh boy, you speak English so well, how did you do it? There's a YouTube channel, pronunciation manual. That's where I learn all my difficult words from. Pronunciation manual, already a very old channel page. Tackles all the difficult words. Highly recommended if you want to learn the English language. Struggling with the pronunciation of some difficult words. .400 digital zoom. That's where it's for. Indeed, Elvin. Fact space. Fact space. Oh no. I think I made a fact space. Right, we have a little itty bitty Embraer arriving from Frankfurt. Screw that, let's have a look at the bonus queen I didn't foresee. Nippon Cargo Airlines 7478 arriving from Anchorage. 8 hours and 10 minutes on the way. $14-year-old airplane. Now, don't you guys make a fax piss and tune out. This might get loud. The 7478 is 14 years old already. First flight March 2010. Now, if you've been enjoying the stream so far, but you haven't already, don't forget to drop a like. It really helps to spread this content to more aviation fans such as yourselves, who might not know the channel yet, but will enjoy it. Let's look and listen. ANA, Nippon Cargo. NCA. NCA. Holy moly. Well, let's keep following the airplane. It might still go around. That would be something to see it twice. Now, it looks like it is vacating the runway, but it might still go around. So let's keep a close eye on it a bit longer. Pim says my ears are bleeding. Just press hard with a handkerchief and the bleeding will stop in a few minutes. That was sweet. In the meantime, SAS has landed. Still no Viagra in the sky, in the air over here. Aphrodite signing off. Thanks for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you later. Professor Darshine asks which hoodie I am wearing today. I'm not wearing a hoodie. Just shorts and a t-shirt. It's actually quite warm over here. The only thing I'm wearing is sunscreen. KLM 1270 arriving for Copenhagen. With the reversers. What is going on? Now next up, Air France flight 1640 A320, 44 minutes on the way, 21 years old. Also hearing something overhead. Sounds like it is behind me. Another one of those airplanes that is not producing a contrail. Embraer 175 in the background. It is back to the standard narrow bodies, back to back. Are there any heavies coming anytime soon? There is a Delta A330 approaching from Minneapolis. That is over the North Sea. I'm also seeing Emirates flight 147 that is now approaching the border. Two Delta A330s, in fact. Both arriving from Minneapolis. That is odd. That means they must have like departed 5 minutes or 10 minutes back to back. Yeah, Air China 747, 48 minutes out, but that's probably going to land on the wrong runway, won't it? Not sure about the Air China. Well, by the time the A380 is landing, it is probably arriving in Dutch airspace, so we can have a quick look at the runway it will be assigned to. If it's going to be Polderbaan, that might make a nice last airplane of the day. If it's going to go to 27, then I think after the A380 has landed, I'm done for the day. No point in sticking around if it's going to land on runway 27, so far away. Let's see, Jose, or is it Jose Adams? Probably Jose. KLM 777 from Atlanta due in 15 minutes. Cool, so two Delta A330s. Next up, EasyJet A320neo arriving from Edinburgh. Behind it is Vueling A320 arriving from Alicante. No, Valencia. And a third airplane at it's 7 o'clock, mostly visible by the lights. A319 EasyJet arriving from Palma de Mallorca. The Delta is turning in, the first of the two. Paddy has to walk the dog. Thanks for joining, Paddy. See you in the next one. Hopefully later in the week. Let's see, Delta A330 should be turning in. Now the number 3. will probably be a little bit lower. Question mark? Yeah, there it is. So that's the first of 2 consecutive Delta A330s that we're going to see land. In the foreground, the first one will be Delta Airlines Flight 162 and Delta Airlines Flight 164 behind it. What time did they depart? Actual time of departure, 10:12 p.m. for the first one and 10:23 for the second one. Funny, isn't it? 2 Amsterdam bound A330s departing 10 minutes from one another. Okay, Maria says A388 assigned to 27 as expected. No surprises there. This is Vueling with the hybrid livery. It says Vueling, but the tail is from, what was it again? Level? I think it was Level. Part of the Level livery. No doubt on this one. Chrissy Coot also says hi, still doing some cardio. EasyJet arriving from Palma de Mallorca will be the next airplane to arrive. An A319, 1 hour and 58 minutes underway. The first of 2 consecutive Delta A330s, and the second one is turning in. Both arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Should appear somewhere from the left in the background any moment now, at least according to flight radar. Always remains to be seen. Well, we'll see it soon enough, no matter. It's been a while since we last saw a butt shot, so let's have a look. Here it is, EasyJet. Kablamo. Rakete 88, herzlich willkommen. Right, so here we have the first of 2 consecutive Delta A330s arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. In the meantime, the second one has appeared and is flying behind it. Delta Airlines Flight 162 in the foreground, Delta Airlines Flight 164 in the background. Departure time 10 minutes apart from Minneapolis. Flight time probably similar. Flight time 7 hours and 51 minutes. The airplane that we are now seeing land is 21 years old and began flying in January of the year 2003. The airplane behind it is a bit younger. Yes, nice. Alexander tuning in from Bulgaria. Greetings. Now, the next airplane is also Delta Airlines Flight 164 A330-300 arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Flight time very similar to the previous one. They departed 10 minutes apart back in Minnesota. 7 hours and 41 minutes of flight time. Yeah, it made up 10 minutes approximately. Makes sense. This airplane a bit younger than the previous one. This one is 9 years old. First flight was in January 2015. A320neo, A321neo from Transavia behind it. Arriving from KLX Kalamata in Greece. That is the YHV. Meanwhile, there was an ant walking over my right calf. Not anymore. Let's see. Next airplane to arrive should be from Welling and should be flying west of me. I'm looking to my west to see if I can see anything already. Should be pretty close by, but I don't see anything. First, let's look and listen. Delta Airlines Flight 164, 2 consecutive A330 300s, both arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. First one got nice and loud. Will this one do too? That's what I'm talking about. Excellent, excellent. Hey there, Christy, tuning in from Atlanta. Henry, good afternoon. Henry tuning in from Ghana. Welcome one and all. Loud landings. Hey Stacy, good to see you again. Noise indeed. Next up, one of Transavia's leased A321neos. The registration, the last letter of the registration is one of the letters at the end of the alphabet, and those are the leased ones. PHYHW. This airplane returning from Kalamata in Greece. 3 hours and 2 minutes on the way. Was delivered in April this year. Hey there, RD-Tube, and all others who've joined in the meantime. So we're sticking around at least until the A380 has landed, which will land on runway 27. We're not going to see that quite well from over here. Quite poorly, in fact, with all the heat wave distortion. There is an Air China cargo that is also coming this way, expected within the hour. Question is, what runway will it be assigned to? Often, when those Chinese triples come, they also land on this runway. I think the same holds for the Chinese 747s. First up, Transavia A321neo arriving from Kalamata, Greece. This is a site that is going to become much more common in the coming years. Transavia transitioning from 737s to A321neos. KLM will also do the same. Airbus all the way. Hey Jennifer, good to see ya. Well, Clementia is waiting for a flight of Aruba. 2 of her friends are on that flight. Already a delay of 2 hours. Man, that's a bummer. The toilets will be even fuller at the end of that flight than they ordinarily would have been. Now Han, I think it is time for you to grab a cup of coffee, maybe make a sandwich. .400 times digital zoom in addition to the optical zoom. This is what you get then. Interestingly, the airplane hardly moves. I am not holding the camera Right, and back to the top end of optical zoom of my camera would be over here. Right, thanks for the update Adriaan, A380 in the vicinity of Harderwijk. Wat zei je?
Mag ik wat vragen?
Ja, tuurlijk.
Bent u Amsterdam?
Dat ben ik, zeker.
Echt?
Ja, ja.
Oh, mag ik een foto?
Oh, tuurlijk. Hoe heet je?
Sam.
Sam. Leuk man. Een grote camera en een grote lens
Ja.
bij je. Leuk man.
Thanks.
Heb je mooie foto's gemaakt al?
Ja, heel veel.
Tof.
Een stuk of, wat zijn?
Hele volle memory card.
359.
300, alleen vandaag.
Ja.
359 foto's.
Ja.
Je bent druk. En dan moet je dat allemaal nog gaan sorteren. De best... Ja, zeker. Ja.
Elke dag?
Niet elke dag, maar wel als het weer het toelaat een aantal dagen per week. Meestal tussen donderdag en maandag.
Live, hè?
Ik ben nu ook live, ja. Dus er zit nu ook een publiek die dit gesprek dan ook hoort. Of in ieder geval mijn deel ervan. Dat is een microfoon hier. Dus ze zullen u waarschijnlijk niet zo snel horen, maar wel een beetje misschien. Ja, fijne dag jongens. Right. Sam over here also taking pictures. Got a big camera and a very big lens. And also a selfie with yours truly. Welling up next, A320 arriving from Biohazard. Bilbao. I used to think that was a sandwich, but that's Bapao. Next up, Welling flight 8354. 1 hour and 31 minutes to get from Bilbao, which is in the north of Spain, back to the Netherlands. 9-year-old airplane, first flight March 2015. I do hear an overhead airplane that is producing a contrail for once. Not too far away. Looks like it is flying. Oh, yeah, well, we already see which one this is. I don't like the livery, but it is distinctive as hell. That's for sure. Condor. Now, time for another 777-300 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia, KLM flight 622, 7 hours and 35 minutes underway, the PHB VW. 3 years old, first flight January 2021. Will it also get loud? It seems to have been the trend so far today. The KLMers getting loud. Indeed, Andy, the Where's Wally of the skies. Tiger cirrus clouds. Speaking of Tiger, I haven't seen her in a while. Has anybody heard from her? Oh. Is that a guy with a 360 camera on a pole? I think it is. Where is that a fishing rod? No, I don't think it is. I think that is a 360 camera. Huh. Why am I lucky that Evan isn't here, QJ? Now back to the Embraers it is. Embraer 175 arriving from Stavanger. 1 hour and 9 minutes on the way. We have a flying AMS Live logo behind it. That is the TUI flight from Curaçao. Oh, is that the flight you're waiting for, Clemencia, with your friends on board? That's this one, isn't it? Now, I'm not going to forgo the Dreamliner, but since the A380 is now approaching to runway 27 and is on final, let's have a look at it. Emirates flight 147 arriving from Dubai, number 10 on flight radar. 324 people are tracking this airplane. And the flight duration is 6 hours and 15 minutes, which is a bit on the early side. Normally 6.5 hours, roughly speaking. And this is an airplane that is 9 years old. First flight March 2015, the A6EOM. Oh. I will turn back in time for the arrival of your friends, Clemencia. Flying apartment building with wings, indeed, Sven. Now from the A380, that is about to touch down on runway 27. The touchdown we will not be able to see for obvious reasons. Quite some stuff in between us and it. Let's turn back, have a look at the delayed flight of TUI flight 387 arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. Two friends of Clemencia on board this airplane. 7878 Dreamliner, 8 hours 44 minutes underway. The PHTFJ, 9 years old, first flight January 2015. Now is the 747 of Air China already in the vicinity of Dutch airspace? And if so, what runway will it be assigned to? How far away from the Dutch border is it? Is it still flying over Denmark or already in the vicinity? Bijna Groningen, oké. Well, your friends have arrived safely. And Peter Jan is asking about the optical zoom for contrail spotting. Well, there's 20 times optical zoom on this camera, but I usually go overboard with additional digital zoom. Now that can go up to 800 times. I have 400 as maximum set, which is already overkill. This is the additional digital zoom. Once the zoom slows down, it becomes digital. Digital. So this is the point where now it is additional digital zoom. And here it becomes optical zoom again. Top end of optical zoom would be this, which is, I believe, for this camera the equivalent of 600 millimeters or just a little over 600 millimeters in full frame equivalent. So this is already additional digital zoom on top of optical zoom. Top end of optical zoom would be over here. So for contrail spotting you do need additional digital zoom, otherwise it will be very faint still. And do let me know in advance, Sven, if you have details. The stars really have to align though. I have to film departures. The departure has to be from the right runway, because if you're not filming departures from Polderbaan, unless you just want the flight filmed, that is easier. And the best footage for departures would be from Polderbaan. Yeah, I think you need a Nikon P1000 at least, Peter-Jan. If possible, try to check to test the cameras before you purchase any. You need more optical zoom. You need more zoom than you think. Period. I think the P1000 would do great. I have seen excellent testing films of it, filming people on mountains 10 kilometers away or something. I also think I saw some contrail spotting videos on YouTube. A person, probably a guy, but could also be a girl, but is using the P1000 for contrail spotting, and I think it shows a lot more detail than my camera does. I think that would be a very good camera for contrail filming or spotting. A220 up next, arriving from Toulouse with nothing to lose but the landing. The landing, they've won. No reverser landing. Here, this already is also additional digital zoom. This is top end of optical zoom. So even for those shots close up, I use additional zoom, digital zoom, moderate digital zoom in addition to the optical zoom. Here too, this is top end optical zoom 20 times. And here it becomes digital. This is additional digital. This is top end optical zoom. This is fully zoomed out. Our friendly neighborhood, the police just patrolled by. .747 in Dutch airspace, no runway yet. Interesting, interesting. Hey Zenzi, good afternoon. Good to see you again, hope all is well. Sven says, I'm still quite scared of takeoff. Any remedy for that? Yeah, go to your GP, ask for benzodiazepines. That'll calm you down. Take them with alcohol. Now, if you've never flown before, you're going to feel strange things, because when you accelerate, you'll get pushed into your seat. When you rotate, you'll be pushed into your seat. When the engine's throttled down, you might also feel like you're dropping. So it's really something you just have to get used to. Know that it is normal. Fidel Kestrel. Looking for Pinky and the Brain. I think this one is Fidel Kestrel. Where is this also the buzzard? The European buzzard. If it is, buzz off. Or come closer and hover still. Now, where are you? Huh. They keep moving. Indeed, sleeping pills like with BA Baracus. Hey, Stephen also back in the chat. Bags are packed. Awesome, mate. Flight 74, Sunday arrival from ATL, if I recall correctly. Hey, is there a smudge on my lens? There is. Oh, there's that a little bug. That was a little bug, which I think won't be bugging us anymore. Okay, 747 to runway 27. Okay. Well, in that case, there's no reason to stick around, is there? All I see right now coming this way for this runway are narrow bodies. The first wide body is still in France. 777-200 arrival from Rio de Janeiro. Iceland Air 767 is still off the coast of Great Britain. I think I'm going to wrap it up after this landing. Air Transat, last airplane of the day. The A321 Neo arriving from Toronto. Oh, Wednesday! You're arriving Wednesday. Ah, shoot, that's one of my working days. Still have the day job on Wednesday and Tuesday. My weekend begins again on Thursday, so I won't be able to film your arrival then, Stephen. That's a pity. My work week begins tomorrow, and my weekend begins at the end of the day after tomorrow. Yeah, sorry Zenzi, nothing to see here except narrow body after narrow body after narrow body. The 747 that is approaching is going to land on runway 27, the wrong runway. From over here all you can see is heat distortion, so I am going to wrap it up. Thank you all so much for joining me here. Hope you enjoyed. I sure did. Nice weather, hopefully it's going to stay better weather now for a while. All the best. Thank you all so much for watching, for the support, for the super chats, the super stickers, whatever. Moderators, also a big thank you for keeping the chat friendly and accessible. Hope to see you later in the week. Enjoy the rest of your week for now, and until soon, bye for now.